The human spirit is not forged in comfort. It is hammered into shape by crisis. Life doesn't prepare you for its hardest moments. It throws you into the fire and waits to see if you'll burn or become steel. The hardest challenges arrive unannounced, striking when you least expect them. Days when merely getting out of bed requires more courage than climbing mountains. Nights when silence screams louder than any battlefield. You crave revenge. You want them to feel the weight of your pain. But hear this truth. The greatest, most absolute punishment you can deliver isn't shouting or desperate drama. It is erasure. Do you want to know what truly keeps someone awake at night after they've inflicted that wound? It is not the frantic, misspelled messages sent in a moment of rage. It is not the desperate back and forth of blocking and unblocking them across social media just to monitor their movements. All of that is simply noise, and noise is cheap. It's the desperate plea of the wounded ego, begging for validation that they still matter. Today, I'm giving you 12 silent habits, 12 profound psychological strikes, rooted in the unbreakable wisdom of Stoicism that cut deeper than any accusation or cry you could ever utter. When you commit to them, something strange begins to occur. They, the arrogant ones who betrayed your trust, the careless ones who dismissed your value, they start becoming consumed by you. They feel the gnawing of guilt. They watch you from the perimeter of their new life, feeling the sharp sting of loss. Some will even come crawling back, their masks off, begging for a single small place in the life you have built without them. But here is the most transformative part. When they finally do return, humbled and begging, and they will, you will look at them and realize the truth of your Stoic journey. You no longer need them anymore. Forget the soft, sentimental, self-help advice that floats meaninglessly around the internet. This is not about healing with temporary distractions. This is the strategy of the strong. This is the discipline of the liberated soul. This is Stoicism in motion. Let's begin the transformation. If you are committed to this journey of reclaiming your power, hit that like button now. Habit 1. The doctrine of absence. Habit 1. You must enforce the doctrine of absence. Treat them with the polished, final indifference of a total stranger. When a betrayal occurs, the perpetrator's ego enters a state of confident anticipation. They are waiting for the performance, the tears, the screaming, the pleas, or the spectacular public collapse. They expect this because both extremes, desperate love and furious volcanic anger, send them the same intoxicating message: you still matter to me. You still control my emotional destiny. I still revolve around your orbit. Do not grant them this poisonous validation. Instead, you execute the doctrine of absence. This is not a temporary distraction. This is a profound withdrawal of your vital energy. The moment the damage is done, your display is not one of anger or sorrow, but of absolute vacancy. You become emotionally irrelevant in their sphere. If, by pure chance, your paths happen to cross, your interaction must be clinical, brief, and utterly devoid of warmth. You offer a slight, polite nod, the same nod you would give a nameless cashier or a distant acquaintance you barely remember. And then you keep moving. No hesitation. No long, drawn-out conversations to gain clarity. No accusing looks that betray your internal turmoil. You are courteous, yes, but you are also colder than newly forged steel. This single pure act of indifference is not petty. It is a psychological nuclear strike. It creates a chasm of doubt in their reality. The internal monologue that begins in their mind is terrifying to their ego. Wait, was I not the central player? Yesterday my presence determined their happiness. How did I become invisible today? Did the pain I inflicted not even register? Does my existence mean less than the air they breathe? This is the applied philosophy of the Stoic discipline of ascent. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment." You are not fighting them, you are fundamentally revoking the assent, the internal agreement, that their opinion, their actions, or their absence holds any power over your internal state. You reduce them from a vital, essential component of your life to external static. You delete them from the core programming of your existence, the same way a system deletes a corrupted, useless file. They are not an enemy to be fought. They are not a friend to be mourned. They are nothing. Understand this profound truth. Hatred is merely love's distorted mirror image. They both rely on a powerful emotional connection. Indifference, however, is the state of having zero connection. When you treat them like air, you are silently screaming, "Your power here has expired. You are irrelevant to my peace." The deeper rationale. Epictetus taught, "It is not events that disturb people, it is their judgments concerning them." Your judgment must change. They are no longer defined as a source of pain or a lost love. They are merely a fact of the external world, like a rainy day or a traffic jam, inconvenient perhaps, but ultimately outside the perimeter of your control, and therefore outside the perimeter of your concern. This radical indifference is the foundation of true emotional sovereignty. The crucial warning: many people will fail right here. They will pretend to be cold while secretly waiting, hoping and analyzing their reaction. They are acting aloof, hoping for a response. This is still dependence. Real power is a silent, internal truth. They are gone, and your peace is absolutely, fundamentally undisturbed. This inner truth is the required foundation for Habit 2, the one that truly changes the game. Habit 2, the ascension of the soul. Habit 2. You do not merely survive without them. You execute the ascension of the soul by building a life that is demonstrably and undeniably superior. They have created a vacuum. The stage they once occupied is empty, and this period of silence is the fertile ground where their deepest, most toxic regret will begin to bloom. While they comfort themselves with the narrative that you are miserable, suffering and broken, thereby justifying their careless decision, you must execute the exact opposite action. You unleash the ultimate magnificent statement of self-worth, the thriving rebirth. This is not a temporary distraction. This is a strategic, aggressive and permanent recalibration of your entire existence, aligned with the Stoic virtue of justice, justice to the self you have neglected. First, the new guard. You aggressively audit and upgrade your inner circle. You are seeking new friendships that reflect the highest future version of yourself. Ambition, positivity, intellectual curiosity, and mutual respect become non-negotiable standards. You surround yourself with people who treat you like a treasure, not a commodity. People who laugh with genuine joy, who challenge you intellectually, and who provide evidence that a world beyond the person who hurt you is richer and more vibrant. Second, the citadel of self-improvement. You dive into aggressive growth. Learn that high-value skill you postponed. Master a new language. Commit to a physical regimen that reshapes your body and sharpens your mind. Change your environment. New hobby, new routine, new appearance. Change the fundamental operating frequency of your life. Third, the unfiltered radiance. Most crucially, your happiness must be authentic. I'm not talking about the performative, filtered kind of joy posted to bait them. I mean real, deep, unshakable contentment. The joy that shows up in the light in your eyes when you talk about your new goals. The contentment that radiates in candid photos with new friends who truly value your presence. This is what destroys them. Imagine their inevitable secret surveillance of your life. They expected sadness, stagnation, and loneliness. Instead, they find you glowing, standing beside incredible high-value individuals, achieving massive milestones. Their ego-driven narrative collapses into panic. Who are these new people? Why are they laughing so freely? Why is their life so clearly better without me? How did they improve so drastically after I left? And here comes the final devastating blow of retrospective folly. They are forced to confront the truth that they could have been part of that picture. They were invited to the highest version of your life, and they carelessly threw the invitation, you, away. They observe others treating you like a masterpiece, and they realize they were the fool who discarded the diamond. Jealousy mixed with irreversible regret is a potent, silent acid. Every photo of authentic joy, every achievement you post, is a drop of that poison confirming their mistake. You prove the ultimate brutal Stoic principle. They were the obstacle, not the necessary foundation. They needed to leave so that a far superior reality could finally be constructed. Seneca's wisdom rings true. Do not stumble over what is behind you. Run forward into a light so bright the shadows of your past cannot keep up. Your thriving is not revenge. It is a profound act of self-justice. If you are truly committed to this ascension, to making your future so bright that the past is entirely irrelevant, please hit that subscribe button and activate the notification bell. We are building a legion of strong, resilient minds, and you are essential to this mission. The ancient ship analogy. Consider yourself a ship sailing toward a rich harbor. The person who hurt you was a massive, unnecessary anchor. Your life was dragging, slowed down by their weight. When they left, you didn't sink. You were suddenly free to hoist the sails and accelerate toward your destination. They watch from the shore, seeing your ship moving faster than ever before. Their regret is simply the realization that they chose to remain a useless weight instead of a vital sail. This habit is about replacing the narrative of victimhood with the narrative of conquest. You are not waiting for them to feel bad. You are simply building a life that makes their absence a visible, quantifiable upgrade. Habit 3. The Citadel of Silence. Habit 3. You must master the Citadel of Silence. Your inaction is the impenetrable armor that defeats all attempts at manipulation. This is the psychological high ground, the hardest to maintain, but the most rewarding. This is the phase where you become the stone wall, impervious to external assault. The person who hurt you will, with near certainty, enter a period of strategic probing designed to elicit a reaction. They will deploy every cheap psychological trick. The sad social media post clearly aimed at you. The accidental run-in. The calculated leak of information about their new perfect life to make you jealous. They are searching for one thing, proof that they still matter enough to control you. Your required counter-strategy is pure radical stoicism, complete and utter refusal to react. They try to provoke you. You maintain majestic, unbreakable silence. They attempt to trigger jealousy. You do not flinch. You simply accelerate your own progression. They spread calculated lies. You shrug, internally categorize it as indifferent external, and keep living your life with unhurried dignity. This is the applied dichotomy of control in action. Epictetus was your guide. No one can harm you unless you allow them to disturb you. Your mind is your own citadel. When you react, you are giving them the remote control to your inner world. A furious text proves they still make you angry. A jealous post confirms they still occupy your thoughts. They press the pain button and they win. Your reaction confirms your dependence. But when you stand like a granite fortress against their waves, they lose their footing. They panic because the mechanism of manipulation is fundamentally broken. Your indifference to their games becomes a subtle, relentless form of psychological torture. They desperately need to see you hurt. They need validation that the wound they inflicted was significant. When their every action bounces off you like pebbles hitting a battleship, they enter a profound crisis of relevance. They will escalate. They will send that casual, insidious, "Hey, thinking about you. Remember that time?" They will try to bait you with manufactured drama or even performative apologies seeking a reaction. But your response remains consistent, calm, distant, unmoved. The message you are transmitting is a truth bomb. You possess zero emotional authority over me. You can no longer cause me happiness, sadness, or anger. Your power over my internal state is terminated. The realization that they are completely and permanently powerless, that their once significant presence is now spiritually irrelevant, shatters the core of their ego. They have not just lost your physical presence, they have lost your emotional control, which was the real prize. This is total, crushing defeat. The archer's focus. Imagine you are an archer aiming for a target, your future. The manipulator is standing behind you, shouting distractions and trying to make you turn around. If you turn and argue, you miss the target. The Stoic archer ignores the noise, maintains focus, and releases the arrow. Their only concern is the quality of their aim, not the noise behind them. This is the essence of ignoring what is not in your control. At this point, you have won the emotional war. You have secured your internal peace. The remaining 30% is about establishing your moral and philosophical superiority, which requires the ultimate demonstration of character. Habit 4. The Sovereign Reserve. Habit 4. You establish the Sovereign Reserve. No gossip, no explanations, no revenge. Your silence is your crown. In this high-drama call-out culture world, this habit is the philosophical equivalent of walking on water. It is the secret weapon of the truly elevated Stoic mind, aligning with the virtue of temperance and self-control. When people inevitably ask you for the details, when friends, family, and colleagues seek the dirty truth about the one who hurt you, you must resist the powerful, tempting urge to seek temporary relief through exposure. You do not trash them. You do not call them names. You do not list, like an angry accountant, their failings. You do not perform the exhausting, undignified role of the tragic, wounded victim. Instead, you say one sentence, calmly, sincerely, and with the finality of a closing door. It was a chapter that ended. I wish them well, and I have shifted my focus entirely to my future. And you stop. You refuse to elaborate. You change the subject. Why is this essential? Why not indulge in the righteous fury of exposure? Because dignity is a currency that never depreciates. The person who hurt you is expecting a public, messy spectacle. They are hoping you will scream accusations and list their failings. Why? Because the moment you descend into the mud pit, they get to point and say, "See, I was right to leave. They are unstable, they are dramatic, they are toxic." Your anger becomes their justification, your pain becomes their moral shield. But when you choose the high road silence, you forcefully remove that shield. Imagine a mutual contact returning to them and reporting, "I talked to them. They were completely composed. They didn't say one bad thing about you. They just looked peaceful and said they were focusing on their future." That report is a crisis for their ego. It forces a terrifying confrontation with their own actions. They cannot blame you for being hysterical. They cannot twist the story and play the victim because you gave them no script. They are left alone with their guilty conscience, with no external noise to distract them from the simple, unavoidable fact. I treated a person of profound grace and dignity terribly, and they still protected my reputation. Your dignity exposes their lack of it. Your quiet class highlights their small, frantic attempt at manipulation. Your calm, non-reactive reserve shows the world exactly who the better person always was. People will see your character. They will judge you as the one who truly grew. Never, ever lower the elevation of your character to match the level of the person who harmed you. Stand above, on the mountain of integrity, where your sovereign silence thunders louder and more irrevocably than any act of retaliation ever could. This act of self-control is the hardest. It is the core of Stoic temperance. If you commit to this level of character, leave a comment right now and write, "Sovereign Reserve." This is your commitment to self-dignity. The lighthouse principle. You are a lighthouse. They are a struggling ship in a storm. They are expecting you to flash signals of panic and distress. Instead, the lighthouse remains steady, tall and calm, shining its light forward. It guides other ships, not the one that chose to crash. Your stability and focus are your silent, powerful message to the world. Habit 5, the final act of freedom. Habit 5, the ultimate habit of liberation. You execute the final act of freedom through deep, private, uncommunicated forgiveness. I understand the resistance. Forgiveness feels like a reward for their poor behavior. It feels like letting them off the hook. But this is where true Stoic enlightenment separates the student from the master. You do not forgive them because they deserve it. They might never deserve it. You do not forgive them because they apologized. They may never apologize. You forgive them for you. Stoicism is clear. Resentment is a self-imposed prison. Holding on to hatred is like drinking a beaker of poison every morning and hoping the perpetrator suffers the symptoms. As long as you hate them, you remain chained to them. The chains of resentment are heavier and more enduring than the chains of love. They still dictate your sleep, your mood, and your focus. You must cut the anchor, let the rope go. You forgive silently, privately, in the deep recesses of your own heart. You process the emotional data, acknowledge the lesson, and file it under completed. Here is the essential strategic instruction. You must never, under any circumstances, communicate this forgiveness to them. No text, no email seeking closure, no final, peaceful coffee. No. You forgive silently and you move on instantly to the next, better stage of your life. Why keep it a secret? Because this is the highest form of self-possession and freedom. When you forgive in silence, you reclaim 100% of your emotional energy. The pain no longer wakes you. The bitterness no longer taints your joy. You become light, unburdened, and entirely free. The emotional equivalent of a bird escaping a cage it forgot was even there. And this is the moment of their ultimate regret. They will feel this shift. Energy is real. When they see you or hear about you, they will sense a profound difference. You no longer carry the weight of the past. You are radiating peace. You are shining with lightness. This terrifies them more than anything. It signifies not just movement, but transcendence. You didn't just move on, you deleted the entire file. You processed the experience and achieved complete spiritual autonomy. They realize they cannot apologize their way back. They cannot fix it. They cannot undo it. You have become untouchable. This is when the deepest regret sinks into their soul. I hurt a pure-hearted person, someone gracious enough to forgive me silently, and now I can never, ever have them back. They have achieved a level of peace that is fundamentally beyond my reach. Your forgiveness is the greatest gift to your own soul, but it becomes the most irreversible, profound loss of their life. Habit 6. The discipline of desire, the minimalist of attention. Habit 6. You starve their ego by enforcing the discipline of desire. They receive zero currency from your attention. We have secured your emotional sovereignty through indifference and forgiveness. But the Stoics knew that true freedom lies in controlling the proclivities of the heart, the deep, quiet urges that still connect you to the past. The person who hurt you is fundamentally relying on a primal psychological law, the law of desire. They believe that deep down you still want them. want their approval, their acknowledgement, their apology, or their return. Your continuing desire, no matter how faint, is their last invisible tether to your power source. Your task now is to become a minimalist of attention. You must starve every lingering desire connected to them, treating it like a useless luxury item you refuse to buy. If you find yourself reading an old text chain, stop and delete it immediately. If a memory of them surfaces that triggers longing or anger, acknowledge it as an external impression, a fantasia, and refuse to give it your assent. Say, "This is merely a memory, not reality. It is irrelevant to my present task and my future virtue." This is the rigorous Stoic discipline of desire in action. You are training your soul to desire only what is internal and secure. Your own virtue, your own growth, your own peace. Everything else is classified as adiaphora, indifferent things. Their opinion, their current life, their eventual regret, all are rendered indifferent. Why is this a silent habit that truly haunts them? Because the deepest form of rejection is the realization that they are no longer even a subject of your interior thought. They expected to haunt you, to live rent-free in the back hallways of your mind, always waiting for a call. But when they realize that your attention, your most valuable resource, is now focused entirely on building the high-rise of your future, they feel the utter futility of their actions. A philosopher once compared the human mind to a king's treasury. You must guard the gates with ruthless vigilance. If you allow thoughts of them, thoughts of wanting them back or wanting them to suffer, you are allowing a thief to steal your spiritual gold. True power is the ability to walk past the open doors of the past and choose to remain focused on the wealth of the present moment. This inner discipline ensures that when they attempt to re-enter your life, they find the gates locked, the drawbridge raised, and the guards gone. You are not waiting for them. You are not even thinking about the lock. You are busy governing your kingdom. Habit 7. The Inner Fortress Doctrine. Habit 7. You build an inner fortress of self-reliance so profound that your happiness becomes unassailable by any external force, including their memory. Most people construct their happiness on fragile external foundations: a relationship, a job title, money, or the approval of others. When someone hurts them, that entire fragile structure collapses. The Stoic master builds their house on solid rock, the rock of virtue. This habit requires you to systematically isolate and destroy every external source of validation and replace it with internal validation. How exactly do you build this fortress? Isolate virtue. Focus daily on the 4 cardinal virtues: courage, justice, temperance, and wisdom. Use these as your measuring stick. Every evening, ask yourself, did I act wisely today by managing my impressions? Did I treat myself justly by pursuing my highest good? Did I show courage by speaking the truth or resisting comfort? Did I exhibit temperance by controlling my reaction to external news? When your answer is yes, that is your victory. That is the internal proof of your worth. The self-sufficiency test. Can you truly enjoy an entire evening alone, not just enduring it, but finding deep satisfaction in a task completed purely for your own growth? If your happiness requires the constant input of another person, even a new person, your fortress has weak walls. This is the moment to invest in a skill, a hobby, or a physical practice that requires 0 external participants. Marcus Aurelius advised, "Look within. Within is the fountain of good, and it will ever bubble up if thou wilt ever dig." When the person who hurt you inevitably checks your status, and they will, they are looking for a crack in your foundation. They expect to see you frantically rebuilding your life, desperately seeking a replacement for them. Instead, they find the profound stability of a solitary king. They realize your happiness is not dependent on any specific person, place, or external circumstance. It flows from an unassailable inner source. This terrifies the wounded ego because it means they can offer you nothing of material or emotional value anymore. They cannot be your source of happiness, nor can they be the source of your misery. They are a powerless tourist observing a fortified, self-sustaining country that does not require their currency or their presence. They realize they didn't just lose you, they lost the ability to influence you permanently. Habit 8. Premeditatio malorum, anticipation of their failure. Habit 8. You neutralize their power entirely by practicing premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of their inevitable messy return and their subsequent failure. The naive soul is always caught off guard when the person who hurt them returns months later, desperate for contact, or when they execute a subtle public action designed to wound. The Stoic, however, is never surprised. The premeditatio malorum is typically used to prepare for tragedy, but here we use it as a strategic shield against predictable manipulation. You deliberately anticipate the future psychological tactics of the person who betrayed you. Sit down and write out a detailed strategic plan, the bait. What is the most likely, most manipulative way they will attempt contact? The fabricated emergency text, the mutual friend appeal, the fake apology, the jealousy trap using a new person. Your Stoic response. Write the single, unfeeling, brief response you will deliver. Example, I wish you well, but I am unavailable. Or simply, no response is the only response. The internal shield. What is the specific destructive emotion they are trying to trigger? And what specific Stoic principle will you deploy instantly to neutralize it? If they try to induce guilt, remember the dichotomy of control. Their feelings about me are external and not my concern. If they try to induce envy, remember, virtue is the only good. By performing this mental exercise, you preempt their actions completely. When they finally deploy their predictable tactics, you won't feel anger, surprise, or even vindication. You will feel a detached sense of pity. You anticipated this performance. It is a predictable rerun of a bad play. This habit is a silent, internal victory. You have already processed their return and dismissed it before it even happened. When they show up, they are meeting a future version of you, a warrior who already fought and won this specific battle months ago in the privacy of their mind. Their ultimate frustration stems from the realization that their big dramatic comeback, the moment they thought would finally hook you, was met not with passionate emotion, but with the cold, prepared logic of someone who had long ago categorized their move as expected and irrelevant. You neutralize their power by refusing to grant their actions the dignity of surprise. Habit 9. The masterpiece of mundanity. Habit 9. You prove their loss daily by dedicating yourself to the masterpiece of mundanity, the ruthless pursuit of excellence in the small, unseen actions of your daily life. The person who hurt you expects you to chase grand, visible victories to prove your worth. The new relationship, the fancy car, the public award. These are often fleeting and ego-driven. The true Stoic revenge is quiet, consistent, and built in the shadows. This is the masterpiece of mundanity. It means waking up at the same hour every day, regardless of your shifting mood or fatigue. Consistently tending to your health, your environment, and your finances, even when it's inconvenient. Studying your craft one extra focused hour every evening. Maintaining flawless integrity in your dealings, even when no one is watching. Your commitment to your goals should be boringly consistent. It is the practice of focused action, the Stoic term for this virtue. You become an individual of profound reliability, reliable to your word, reliable to your routine, and reliable to your highest standards. Why does this habit destroy the perpetrator's ego? because their self-justification relies on the narrative that you are unstable, emotional, or incapable of long-term success without their stabilizing presence. Your relentless, quiet consistency, the proof that you are building an empire not on emotion but on discipline, shatters that narrative into dust. They look for the flash of public victory, but they find the unstoppable, quiet momentum of a disciplined life. They realize that while they are distracted by their own low-level drama, you are quietly compounding excellence. Every sunrise where you choose discipline over comfort is a silent brick laid in your impenetrable fortress. They didn't just lose your love, they lost the stability and integrity you carried, which they now see you applying ruthlessly to your own success. The victory isn't the flashy award. The victory is the simple fact that you showed up for your life today, with or without them. This relentless, boring daily excellence is the most damning indictment of their reckless, chaotic behavior. Commit to this masterpiece. If you are serious about this quiet revolution, drop a comment below and write, "Mundanity Master." Let the consistent commitment be our shared oath. Habit 10, the final spiritual severance. Habit 10, you achieve the final spiritual severance by cutting the last karmic and energetic cord, rendering them eternally irrelevant. We started with physical erasure and ended with spiritual freedom. This final habit is the most abstract, yet the most definitive act of sovereignty. Even after silent forgiveness, and even after achieving indifference, a subtle energetic cord can remain. This cord is the lingering meaning you assign to the injury. You might think, "I am stronger because they hurt me," or "My new life is defined by escaping them." The problem, you are still defining your identity relative to their action. The final spiritual severance means recognizing that their impact was simply information. It was a data point. It was a chaotic weather event. It was not a core, necessary part of your destiny. You must stop seeing the relationship or the betrayal as a defining moment and start seeing it as a detour. Seneca taught, "True happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future, not to amuse ourselves with hopes or fears, but to rest satisfied with what we have, which is sufficient. For he that wants nothing is not indebted to Providence and has nothing to hope for." You owe them nothing, not even the credit for your growth. You grew because of your virtue, not because of their cruelty. The severance is simple. You publicly and privately stop discussing them. You stop analyzing the past. You cease seeking lessons from the trauma and treat the lesson as having been fully absorbed and integrated. You file the whole experience under irrelevant history and refuse to revisit the file. When they feel this severance, they realize the total loss. They didn't just lose you, they lost their narrative significance in your life. You have made them a footnote. Your forgiveness set them free from your hatred. Your severance sets you free from the meaning of their action. You have become a force entirely focused on the future, powered by your own unborrowed light. This is the ultimate victory. They are no longer an ex-lover, an ex-friend, or an enemy. They are simply a memory of a distant day, a nameless person who once crossed your path, proving the profound truth that they never mattered as much as your own self-discipline. Habit 11. The principle of oikiosis, expanding the circle. Habit 11. You prove the vastness of your new purpose by activating the principle of oikiosis, expanding your circle of concern far beyond their trivial absence. Oikiosis is a core Stoic concept that describes the appropriation or sense of belonging that starts with the self and expands outward: family, friends, community, humanity. When someone hurts you, the natural ego-driven reaction is to collapse the circle entirely, focusing only on the two parties involved, you and the perpetrator. This makes the loss feel immense. The Stoic countermove is to aggressively expand the circle. You make your purpose demonstrably grander than their absence. How do you do this? You commit to a purpose that is fundamentally altruistic or communal. You volunteer time to a cause that has nothing to do with personal gain. You mentor someone. You create something of value for your community. You take on a massive professional project that will benefit hundreds of people. Your actions silently scream this truth. My purpose is too vast to be contained by one person, one relationship, or one singular pain. The person who hurt you is trapped in a small, petty drama of their own making. They are obsessed with you. Meanwhile, you are operating on a scale that affects the lives of strangers. They see you doing work that matters to the world, and they realize they were fighting over a seat on a small, sinking dinghy while you were building a massive ocean liner for others. They cannot compete with your purpose. They can only compete with your pain. When you remove your pain and replace it with contribution, you have made them completely irrelevant to your destiny. Your attention is no longer focused inward on the wound, but outward on the betterment of the world. A world in which they are a tiny, insignificant speck. This is the beautiful, silent lesson of oikoiosis. You have moved from being an obsessed individual to being a valuable citizen of the cosmos. Habit 12, the Stoic test of adversity. Habit 12. You achieve the final spiritual high ground by reclassifying their betrayal as the Stoic test of adversity, a necessary, precious gift that unlocked your true virtue. This is the final, most radical mental shift. You are not just over them, you are fundamentally grateful for the experience, not for the pain itself, but for the result it mandated. The Stoics viewed external adversity, like betrayal, loss, or hardship, not as punishment, but as the gymnasium of the soul. Seneca wrote that difficulty is like wrestling practice. The difficult times test how much you know. Your final habit is to sincerely, privately, and consistently reframe the perpetrator's action as the necessary test required to forge the magnificent character you now possess. You look at your current self, the resilient, self-sufficient, dignified, and disciplined warrior, and realize that this level of strength could not have been achieved without the intense heat of that specific betrayal. They were not a villain, they were a catalyst. They were not an enemy, they were a harsh teacher who forced you to study the lessons of self-reliance and virtue. This gratitude must never be communicated to them. It is purely internal. When you achieve this state of mind, you are untouchable. Why? Because you have converted the memory of their harm into the source code of your greatest power. They expected the betrayal to cripple you, but you used it as the fuel for your transformation. This final, profound act of reclassification turns their intended cruelty into your greatest spiritual asset. They are left with the crushing knowledge that their best effort to destroy you resulted in your greatest success. Conclusion: the unbreakable victory. Look at the journey we have completed. Our path was never about petty, temporary revenge. It was the path of unbreakable rebirth. These 12 silent habits were not tools for vengeance. They were tools for virtue. They were the discipline required to return to your truest, highest self. The doctrine of absence honors your present and your focus. The ascension of the soul honors your future and your potential. The citadel of silence honors your emotions and your mind. The sovereign reserve honors your dignity and your character. The final act of freedom honors and liberates your soul. Stop spending even one more second of your priceless life energy calculating how to make them hurt. The sweetest revenge, the true, lasting Stoic victory, is the profound realization that when you finally look back, they are no longer even a factor in your life's equation. You have already won. Not because you defeated an enemy, but because you transcended a mistake. You chose virtue over vengeance. You chose sovereignty over suffering. You chose yourself over their memory. If you are ready to implement these 12 habits and step into the brightest, most unbreakable era of your life, make one last comment below and write the final pledge. I choose myself. If this detailed map to inner strength brought you value, please smash that like button, subscribe to the Stoic Letters channel, and turn on the notification bell. We are building an army of the unbreakable. Thank you for listening. Live strong, live free.